Good morning to everyone. Today we'll learn the thermodynamic principle in metallurgy. Before that we learn about the extraction of metal, their concentration, their uses, different concentration method, froth flotation, electromagnetic separation, then leaching, then the conversion of the metal oxide to the metal using some reducing agent like carbon monoxide, and some other metals are used as reducing agent. Now we'll learn the thermodynamic principle in metallurgy. This thermodynamic principle will make us to select the suitable reducing agent. For example, consider the reaction like 2Y MXOY solid. In the presence of reducing agent, it forms M solid plus O2 gas. 2X by Y, M solid plus O2 gas, that is the first equation. Then if you want to convert this metal oxide to metal, you have to make use of some reducing agent. For example, this carbon is used as a reducing agent. What is the symbol for carbon? C. When carbon is used as a reducing agent, it reacts with oxygen to form the carbon dioxide gas. That is the second equation. And the carbon also reacts with oxygen to form carbon monoxide gas. 2C plus O2 gives 2CO gas, that is the third equation. And if this carbon monoxide is used as a reducing agent, then it again reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide gas. That is what the fourth equation. So here 4 oxygen, here also 4 oxygen, so it is balanced. So this is the general reaction in which a metal oxide is reduced to metal. For that we are using different reducing agent. For example, this carbon is used as a reducing agent. So carbon combines with oxygen to form what? Carbon dioxide gas. Then again this carbon combines with oxygen to form what? Carbon monoxide gas. Then if this carbon monoxide is used as a reducing agent, then this carbon monoxide reacts with oxygen to form what? Carbon dioxide gas. So here if we want to have a reaction with good yield, the delta G should be negative. Delta G is what? Change in free energy should be negative, or the free energy change should be negative. For example, we want to reduce this equation, reduce this metal oxide to metal. So I can use what? I can use 2, 3 or 4. This 2, 3 or 4 as a reducing agent. Or you can couple like this, 1 and 2 and 1 and 3, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. So you can couple this 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 1 and 4, and in which the reducing agent as well as the coupled reaction must have delta G equal to larger negative value, or the delta G must be negative. Then only the reaction will be spontaneous. Or for the coupled reaction, when the delta G is negative, it will be spontaneous. So this is the thermodynamic principle that was involved in what? Metallurgy. It is useful to select the suitable reducing agent. Now I am going to explain about this Ellingham diagram. Harold Ellingham, he gave this diagram. What is the use of this diagram? It is useful to select the suitable reducing agent, or it is useful to select the reaction that was possible or feasible at a particular reaction. Now what are the inferences from this Ellingham diagram? We know that the change in free energy del G will be equal to what? Del H minus T delta S. We have already learnt in 11th standard the change in free energy del G is equal to del H minus T delta S. That is what? First equation. So we know that this del G is nothing but change in free energy. Change in free energy, or Gibbs free energy change. Change in free energy. Del H is change in enthalpy. Change in enthalpy. Change in enthalpy. And del S is change in entropy. Entropy is nothing but what? The orderliness, the disorderliness of a molecule in a system. It is known as what? Entropy. So change in entropy. Del S is change in entropy. Del S is change in enthalpy, heat change, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. T is the temperature in Kelvin. So this is what? This is the first equation. And I already told that if you want a reaction to be spontaneous, the del G must be negative. And here the del G is equal to del H minus T delta S. Now he gave the standard free energy change for an equilibrium process as del G naught. Standard this del G naught will come. So del G naught is equal to minus RT ln Kp. So using this del G naught, he came to obtain lot of values, and he made a plot, and in this plot he got a straight line. You can look at the diagram. In this plot he got a straight line, and in that straight line the del S is the slope. The del S is what? Del S is nothing but entropy, which is the slope, and the del H is the y-intercept. Del H is the y-intercept. So this Ellingham diagram is nothing but the graphical representation of the variation of the formation of metal oxide, or it is a graphical representation of variation of standard free energy change for the formation of various metal oxide with temperature is known as what? Ellingham diagram. Ellingham diagram, again I will tell, it is a graphical representation of the standard free energy change, that is del G naught, for the formation of various metal oxide with temperature is known as what? Ellingham diagram. And you can see how he has plotted the graph. He has taken temperature in the x-axis. So this is x-axis. He has plotted temperature in the x-axis and the del G naught in the y-axis. So with this plot he got straight line, and in that straight line del S is the slope and del H is the y-intercept. Okay, from this he can able to arrive at different reducing agent that can be used for different process. Okay, this is about the introduction about the Ellingham diagram. What are the observations from the Ellingham diagram? From the Ellingham diagram, the del S, it was found to be negative, and when it is included with temperature, that is T delta S, was found to be positive. So here the slope S, that is delta S, was found to be what? Positive. So here it is seems that during the reducing the oxide is involved during the reduction, or the oxygen combines with the reducing agent and forms metal oxide. So this is the first point you can note from this reducing agent. Then second point, the graph for the formation of carbon monoxide is negative. Here 1 mole of oxygen is involved in forming 2 moles of carbon monoxide gas. 1 mole of oxygen is involved in forming 2 moles of carbon monoxide gas. So here the carbon monoxide is formed with a negative slope, and here T delta S is positive, and here 1 mole of oxygen gas is involved to form 2 moles of carbon monoxide gas. So it indicates that carbon monoxide is more stable. So this carbon monoxide can be used as a reducing agent. Then the third inference, here del G is negative. Del G is negative, as well as when the temperature increases. When temperature increases, del G is positive. Del G is positive, or the oxide formation is stable, or the oxide is stable when del G is negative. Below the temperature or lower temperature, the del G is negative and oxide is stable. Oxide is stable. And above this temperature, or when the increase in temperature, the oxide is unstable. Oxide is unstable. And the last inference is there is a sudden change in the plot. For example, for some metal oxide like HgO, MgO, there is a sudden change in the plot. This is due to the phase transition. Phase transition is nothing but the elements will move from the compound will move from one phase to another phase. So due to this phase transition, the HgO and MgO plot will differ, and this is due to phase transition. And in phase transition, what happens? Melting and evaporation. Melting and evaporation. melting and evaporation. So already told that this Ellingham diagram, it is useful in selecting the suitable reducing agent, and it is useful in selecting the feasible process or feasible pathway for a particular reduction process. So here the Ellingham diagram is based on the thermodynamic consideration. For example, the metal oxide, when the metal is more stable, then it combines with oxygen and it will remain as such with oxygen, or oxygen will remain with the metal as such as metal oxide. And if the metal is not stable, then whereas the reducing agent is stable, then the oxygen combines with the reducing agent. If the metal is stable, then oxygen remains with the metal itself, and if the reducing agent is stable or reactive, then it will combine with the reducing agent and come with the reducing agent, thereby reduction take place easily. So this Ellingham diagram, it is useful in predicting the suitable reducing agent and a feasible process or feasible pathway that is used for a particular reaction. Now first point, we'll see this one for this the formation of silver oxide and mercuric oxide. There is a sudden change and it shows that it is not stable. This pathway is not stable, and this reducing agent, this carbon monoxide and carbon cannot be used as a reducing agent for this pathway. Then second plot is that with the reaction with the formation of chromic oxide. For example, Cr reacts with oxygen to form chromic oxide. Here below one aluminium metal is present. So here this is below that chromic oxide. It shows that the aluminium is more stable compared to chromic oxide. So this aluminium metal can be used to reduce this chromic oxide. Already in the aluminothermic process, we saw that this aluminium powder is used to reduce this chromic oxide, or aluminium is used in the reduction process. So if you want to select the suitable reducing agent, what are the metals present below this particular reaction that can be used as a reducing agent, whereas above elements cannot be used as a reducing agent for reducing these elements, because present above will be unstable compared to the elements present below the graph. So here aluminium is stable, so it is used as a reducing agent in the conversion of this chromic oxide to chromium, whereas this Mg and calcium cannot be used to reduce this chromium. So here this is how you can select the suitable reducing agent. Then another example for this is the iron oxide, formation of iron oxide. Here it is formed, and here the carbon line, it passes through this iron oxide. So here this carbon can be used to reduce this iron oxide. So that can be given by a suitable example. So here the carbon line cuts across this iron oxide and this carbon monoxide. So here it comes around, that is this carbon line comes across this iron oxide and carbon monoxide, and here at 1500 Kelvin the reaction will be feasible. So around 1500 Kelvin, the iron solid that reacts with oxygen gas to form iron oxide. So here the del G1 will be equal to 350 kilojoule per mole, and this carbon reacts with oxygen gas to form carbon monoxide gas. Here the del G2 will be equal to 480 kilojoule per mole, and here you reverse the first equation, equation 1. So this iron oxide solid, it gives this iron solid plus O2 gas. So the del G1 will be equal to minus 350 kilojoule per mole. And now you couple the reaction 2 and 3. Couple 2 and 3, you get iron oxide solid plus 2C solid, it gives iron solid, oxygen will be cancelled. So iron solid plus 2CO gas. So here the del G3 value, the del G3 value will be equal to 130 minus 130 kilojoule per mole. So when you divide by 2, it will be equal to 65 kilojoule per mole. So here the standard value or the standard del G value for the reduction of metal oxide to metal will be what? 65 kilojoule per mole. Now we will see the limitations of Ellingham diagram. Limitations of Ellingham diagram. Limitations of Ellingham diagram. See this Ellingham diagram, it is based on the thermodynamic consideration. This Ellingham diagram is based on the thermodynamic consideration and it gives the thermodynamic feasibility of a reaction. Thermodynamic feasibility of the reaction, and it does not give anything or it does not tell anything about the rate of the reaction. Does not tell anything about the rate of reaction. Anything about the rate of a reaction. Anything about the rate of a reaction, and it does not tell the possibility of other reaction that might be taking place, or it does not tell about the other reaction that are taking place. Possibility of, and it does not tell anything about the rate of the reaction and about the possibility of other reaction that take place. About possibility of other reaction that might take place. Other reaction that might take place. And here the second limitation is the del G is based on or it is related to equilibrium process, which is in equilibrium with the, that is a reactants or in equilibrium with the product, and that is not always true. Here the del G or the interpretation is based on the equilibrium process, that is the reactants, number of moles of the reactants are in equilibrium with the product, which is not always true. Equilibrium process, not always true. The interpretation of del G is based on the equilibrium process, that is the number of moles of the reactant will be equal to the number of moles of the product. That is not always true. Equilibrium process, that is not always true. These two are the limitations of Ellingham diagram. Thermodynamic Ellingham diagram is based on the thermodynamic consideration. It does not tell about the feasibility of a reaction, and it does not tell anything about the rate of the reaction and about the possibility of other reaction that might be taking place. So this is one limitation. Second limitation, the interpretation of del G is based on what? The equilibrium process, that is the number of moles of the reactant that will be equal to number of moles of the product, or the interpretation is based on the product and the reactant. That is not always true. So this can be asked in short answer. This Ellingham diagram is a very important question. So first you have to learn the thermodynamic principle involved in metallurgy, then what are the observation you obtain from the Ellingham diagram, then what are the application of the Ellingham diagram. It is used to select the suitable reducing agent. It is useful to know the feasibility of a reaction at particular temperature, and the limitations of Ellingham diagram. So this can be asked in one detail. All the observation, the possibility, and what the application and the inferences and the introduction of the Ellingham diagram, everything can also be asked in the long answer or detailed answer, or this limitation of Ellingham diagram, it can be asked in short answer. So today we have learnt about the thermodynamic principle involved in metallurgy and the observation from the Ellingham diagram and the application of the Ellingham diagram and the limitation of the Ellingham diagram. So this is very useful in selecting the reducing agent, suitable reducing agent for a particular reaction, and this is very important question. So today's assignment, I want you to learn the application and limitations of Ellingham diagram. Applications and limitation of Ellingham diagram. Applications and limitations of Ellingham diagram. So this is a detailed answer. This is also you write and learn. If at all you write and learn, it is not useful, you will forget. So I want you to learn the application and limitations of Ellingham diagram. So this can be asked either in the detailed answer or in the short answer. So today I hope you understood the today's class. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you.